The rain hammered the awning outside my Brooklyn walk-up like it was trying to drown the whole damn city. But inside, the air was thicker, heavier with words that shouldn't have been said. Tyler's hand trembled as he gripped the edge of my kitchen table, his knuckles white against the scarred wood. And in that split second before he spoke, I saw it. The fracture in his eyes, the kind that comes from carrying a secret so long it carves you hollow. "Joshua," he whispered, voice cracking like thunder. "I can't pretend anymore. Not with her, not with anyone. But especially not with you." I froze, coffee mug halfway to my lips, the bitter steam curling up like smoke from a fresh wound. My sister Emily's laughter still echoed in my head from last night's family dinner. Her arm looped through his, the picture of easy domestic bliss in our cramped Queens apartment. Now here he was, soaked to the bone at 2 a.m., eyes pleading in the dim bulb light, and the world I'd built, solid, straight-edged, unyielding, cracked open under my feet. The storm had rolled in off the Atlantic like an uninvited guest, turning the streets of Brooklyn into slick black mirrors that reflected the neon haze of bodega signs and distant taxi lights. I'd been up late, scrolling through job listings on my laptop, the kind that promised entry-level opportunities in graphic design but paid just enough to keep the lights on in my one-bedroom shoebox. At 27, I was still chasing the dream of making it as an illustrator in a city that chewed up artists like yesterday's bagel. Emily, my older sister by 3 years, had always been the stable one. Teaching 3rd grade in Queens, engaged to Tyler since last spring, the kind of guy who fixed leaky faucets and remembered birthdays with personalized cards. They were the poster couple for millennial normalcy. Weekend brunches in Park Slope, summer barbecues on the roof, whispers about starting a family. That's why his knock at the door, frantic, almost drowned out by the downpour, jolted me like a live wire. I yanked it open, expecting a neighbor complaining about the shared dryer again. But there was Tyler, drenched, his dark blonde hair plastered to his forehead, blue eyes wide and haunted under the hallway's flickering fluorescent. He was built like a former college athlete, broad shoulders from years on the lacrosse team at some upstate liberal arts school. But tonight he looked small, folded in on himself. "Josh, can I come in? Please." His voice was raw, edged with something I couldn't place. Desperation, maybe, or the prelude to a breakdown. I stepped aside without thinking, the door creaking shut behind him like a confession. Water pooled at his feet on the linoleum, soaking through my socks as I grabbed a towel from the bathroom and tossed it his way. "What the hell, man? It's pouring." "Emily, know you're out here playing midnight hiker." He caught the towel but didn't use it, just clutched it like a lifeline, staring at the floor. The silence stretched, broken only by the relentless patter outside and the distant wail of a siren slicing through the night. Finally, he looked up, and that's when I saw the fracture. The way his jaw clenched, the subtle quiver in his lower lip. "I can't do this anymore, Joshua. The pretending. It's killing me." My stomach twisted, a cold knot forming as fragments of the evening replayed. Emily's glowing smile as she showed off the ring he'd given her. Simple silver with a tiny sapphire, for our forever. Tyler had been charming as ever, cracking jokes about wedding playlists and how he'd learned to dance without stepping on her toes. But now, in the harsh light of my kitchen, the facade crumbled. "Talk to me," I said, pulling out a chair for him, my voice steadier than I felt. I wasn't the touchy-feely type. Growing up in our family's row house in Astoria, emotions were doled out in portions, like extra slices of spanakopita at Easter. Dad worked construction, Mom waitress doubles. We learned early to keep our heads down and our hearts guarded. Emily was the exception, the one who dragged confessions out of you over glasses of cheap Malbec. Me? I sketched my feelings into margins, let them bleed onto paper instead of spilling out loud. He sank into the chair, towel forgotten, running a hand through his wet hair. "Emily, she's everything. Kind funny, the way she lights up a room. I love her laugh, the way she hums off-key while folding laundry. But it's not enough. Or rather, it's not right." He paused, swallowing hard, and the air in the room thickened, charged like the moments before lightning strikes. "I'm gay, Josh. Have been since I was 15. shoving it down so deep I thought I could bury it forever. But I can't. And God help me, the reason it's all crashing down now. It's because of you. The words landed like a punch to the gut, stealing my breath. Me? I laughed. A short, disbelieving bark that echoed too loud in the tiny space. What? Tyler, come on. You're drunk or something. Emily's waiting up, probably worried sick. Let's get you a cab. No. He slammed his palm on the table, the sound sharp and final. I'm sober as a judge. And this isn't a joke. It's been building for months. The way you look at the world, Josh, your sketches, your quiet fire. That night at the gallery opening, when you talked about your latest piece, the one with the fractured cityscape, I saw myself in it. Broken lines, hidden depths. I started noticing things. The curve of your neck when you laugh, the intensity in your eyes when you're focused. It's not just attraction. It's like you've unlocked something in me I didn't know was locked. I backed up a step, bumping into the counter, the edge digging into my spine. My mind reeled, piecing together moments I dismissed as nothing. The lingering hugs at family gatherings, the way he'd text me memes about indie bands we both liked, bypassing Emily entirely. But attraction? From him? To me? I was the straight-laced brother, the guy who dated a string of nice girls. Claire from college with her poetry slams. Mia the barista who baked scones on Sundays. I'd never questioned it, never felt the pull toward this. Tyler, stop. My voice came out hoarse, laced with panic I couldn't mask. You're my sister's fiancé. This, whatever this is, it's a mistake. A bad night. The rain messing with your head. He stood then, closing the distance in 2 strides, his presence filling the room like the storm outside. Up close, I could smell the rain on him, mixed with the faint cedar of his cologne. The one Emily always teased him about being fancy. His hand reached out, hovering near my arm, not touching but close enough to raise the hairs there. Is it? Or is it the truth we've both been avoiding? Tell me you haven't felt it too, the spark, the what if. I see it in you, Josh. The way you hesitate around crowds, like you're waiting for permission to be seen. I jerked away, heart pounding a rhythm that drowned out the rain. I can't. The denial stuck in my throat, because damn it, fragments of doubt flickered. Nights alone, scrolling through art that lingered too long on male forms. The envy I'd felt watching couples at the Pride Parade last summer. Not for the spectacle but for the unapologetic touch. But that was curiosity, right? Not this. He deflated, shoulders slumping as he grabbed his jacket from the chair. I shouldn't have come. This was selfish. But I had to say it, before the wedding, before I lose you both. At the door, he turned, eyes glistening. Not from rain, but something deeper. Help me, Josh. Help me figure out how to be honest. Because if I don't, it'll destroy us all. The door clicked shut, leaving me in the sudden silence, the storm's fury mocking my chaos. I slid down the wall, head in hands, the weight of his words pressing like the city's endless sky. What the hell had just happened? And why did the emptiness he left feel like the start of something I couldn't name? Morning broke gray and unforgiving, the kind of light that seeps through blinds and illuminates regrets. I hadn't slept, replaying Tyler's confession on loop, each iteration twisting the knife deeper. By 9 a.m., my phone buzzed. Emily, chipper as ever. Hey bro. Tyler crashed at a buddy's after poker night ran late. Brunch at 11? Miss you. Red heart, the heart emoji hit like shrapnel. I typed back a quick, sounds good, then stared at the screen, thumbs hovering over Tyler's contact. Delete the thread, call and demand he take it back? Or worse, acknowledge it? I opted for avoidance, the family specialty, and showered hot enough to scald away the confusion. Dressed in my usual jeans, a threadbare Mets tee, Converse scuffed from too many Subway scrambles. I headed to the diner on Myrtle, the one with the greasy spoons and bottomless coffee that Emily swore by for life resets. The walk cleared my head a fraction, brownstones blurring past under a sky threatening more rain. The air crisp with fallen leaves and distant pretzel vendors. Emily was already there, waving from a corner booth, her auburn curls tied back in a messy bun. freckles dancing across her nose as she grinned. She looked happy, radiant, even. In a simple green sweater and leggings, the engagement ring catching the light like a promise. "Joshua, over here, you slacker." Her hug was fierce, scented with vanilla and the faint chalk dust of her classroom. "God, you look like you wrestled a raccoon last night. Rough deadline." "Something like that," I muttered, sliding in across from her, grateful for the menu's distraction. The waitress, a no-nonsense woman named Dolores with a Bronx accent thick as fog, poured our coffees black. Emily chattered about her kids. A spelling bee champ named Luca. A playground scuffle resolved with juice boxes. While I nodded, half listening, my eyes flicking to the door every time the bell jingled. Tyler arrived 10 minutes late, flashing that easy smile as he shrugged off his coat, water beating on the leather from a fresh drizzle. "Traffic's a beast," he said, pecking Emily's cheek before dropping into the seat beside her. His knee brushed mine under the table. Accidental, surely, but the contact sent a jolt up my leg, electric and unwelcome. He met my gaze for a beat, something unreadable flashing there. Regret? Defiance? Before turning to Emily with a laugh at her joke about burnt toast. Brunch dragged, a minefield of normalcy. We ordered the usual. Eggs Benedict for her, pancakes drowning in syrup for me, Tyler's avocado toast, because I'm trying to be healthy before the tux fittings. Conversation flowed around wedding plans, the venue hunt in the Finger Lakes, guest list debates, Aunt Rita or no. The DJ who specialized in 90s hip-hop. I contributed grunts and smiles, but inside, I was unraveling, every brush of his fingers against hers a reminder of the lie he'd dropped in my kitchen like a grenade. "So, Josh," Tyler said suddenly, fork pausing mid-air. "That gallery show you mentioned? The one with the Urban Decay series? I'd love to check it out sometime. Emily says your stuff's killer." Emily beamed, squeezing his arm. "It is. My brother's a genius, even if he won't admit it. You two should go. Guy date, catch up on all that bro stuff I don't get." The word date hung, innocuous to her but loaded for us. I forced a chuckle, syrup sticking in my throat. "Yeah, maybe. When hell freezes over and I actually sell something." He held my eyes a second too long, the blue depths pulling like a current. I'd make time. The rest of the meal blurred. Bills split 3 ways, hugs goodbye under the awning, Emily's, "Love you. See you at dinner Friday," echoing as she linked arms with him and dashed to the subway. Alone, I lingered, lighting a cigarette I swore I'd quit, the smoke curling bitter against the chill. Tyler's words clawed back. The spark, the what if. Was there truth in them? Or was it just the storm talking, stirring up shadows in a life I'd mapped out safe and straight? That night, back in my apartment, I pulled out my sketch pad, pencils scattering across the table like fallen soldiers. The page filled with jagged lines. A figure in rain, face obscured, reaching toward another shadow just out of frame. It wasn't art. It was exorcism, bleeding doubt onto paper. By 1 a.m., exhausted, I texted Tyler, "We need to talk. Coffee tomorrow? Neutral ground." His reply came instant. "Prospect Park, 10 a.m. I'll be there." Sleep came fitful, dreams tangled with rain and blue eyes, the city's pulse thrumming like a warning. Little did I know that coffee would be the first step into freefall. Prospect Park unfolded under a reluctant sun, the leaves a riot of gold and crimson carpeting the paths like forgotten confetti from some long-ago parade. Joggers huffed past in neon, dog walkers tugged leashes taut, and the lake mirrored the sky's hesitant blue, ducks quacking demands for crumbs. I arrived early, hands shoved deep in my hoodie pockets, breath fogging in the crisp fall air. The bench by the boathouse felt like neutral territory. Public enough for escape, private enough for truths that could shatter worlds. Tyler showed 5 minutes late, jogging lightly, his breath coming in white puffs, cheeks flushed from the run. He wore running gear, gray sweats, a fitted black tee that clung just enough to hint at the runner's build beneath, and carried 2 to-go cups from the cart nearby, steam rising like peace offerings. Black, 2 sugars, he said, handing me one, his fingers brushing mine in a graze that lingered electric. Thanks. I took it, sipping to buy time, the bitterness grounding me. We sat, shoulders inches apart, the benches would groaning under our weight. Families picnicked nearby, laughter floating like balloons, a stark contrast to the tension coiling between us. Last night, what you said, can't happen, Tyler. Emily's my sister. Your family. He nodded, staring at the lake, where a pair of swans glided serene and oblivious. I know, and I hate myself for it, for dragging you into this mess. But bottling it up? That's poison. I've spent years faking it. The frat parties at Colgate, the girls I dated to prove a point, even Emily. She's incredible, Josh. Deserves the world. But I'm not the man she thinks I am. The admission hung heavy, and I felt a pang. Not just for her, but for him, the boy he'd been, hiding in plain sight. So what now? Call it off? Tell her the truth. His laugh was hollow, echoing off the water. And break her heart? Ruin the life we've built? I love her in a way, platonic, deep, like she's my best friend. But marriage? That's the ultimate lie. And you? He turned then, eyes locking on mine, the intensity raw and unguarded. You make me want to be real. From the first time Emily brought you to that rooftop party last summer, sketching the skyline while everyone else got wasted. You saw me. Not the lacrosse star, not the golden boy, but the guy terrified of his own shadow. Memories flooded. That night, fireflies of string lights, Tyler leaning against the railing, beer in hand, watching me with a quiet curiosity that I chalked up to boredom. We talked for hours, about his job in marketing, soul-sucking but steady, my freelance gigs that paid in ramen, dreams deferred in a city that demanded more. Emily had teased us about bonding over boy stuff, oblivious to the undercurrent, the way his gaze had traced my hands on the pencil. I didn't see anything. I lied, voice tight, but the denial rang false even to me. Lately, doubts had crept in like fog off the East River. Nights questioning why Claire's touch never ignited, why Mia's kisses felt scripted. And Tyler, his presence had become a constant hum, a distraction I couldn't shake. Liar, he said softly, not accusing but knowing. He shifted closer, our knees touching now, the contact deliberate. Remember the barbecue at your parents' last month? You burned the burgers, swore like a sailor, and I couldn't stop laughing. Or that text chain about the Mets game, dissecting every play till 3 a.m. It's more than friendship, Josh. Admit it. My pulse thrummed, hot coffee forgotten in my grip. Even if something's there, what good does it do? You're with her. I'm not. The word gay stuck, foreign on my tongue. A label I'd never tried on. Straight was easy, expected, the girlfriends, the bro nods, the life scripted by rom-coms and family brunches. But this pull toward him, terrified and thrilled in equal measure. Tyler's hand covered mine then, tentative, warm against the chill. You don't have to name it yet. Just don't run. Help me navigate this. Talk to me. Be the friend I need while I figure out how to let her go without destroying everything. I didn't pull away, couldn't, the touch anchoring me amid the whirl. Around us, the park pulsed with life. Kids chasing frisbees, couples entwined on blankets, a street musician strumming Dylan on guitar. Normalcy, mocking our tangle. Okay, I whispered finally, the word a leap, but slow, and Emily comes first. Always. Relief washed his face, a small smile breaking through. Deal. Now walk with me? Clear our heads. We rose, falling into step along the path, coffees in hand, the conversation shifting to safer ground. His latest ad campaign flop, my stubborn printer jamming mid-print. Laughter came easier, tentative bridges over the chasm. But as we looped the lake, his shoulder brushing mine, I felt the shift. A door cracking open to rooms I'd never explored, lit by his quiet courage. That afternoon, I retreated to my studio corner, pencils flying across fresh paper. This time, the sketch captured him. Tyler mid-stride, rain-slicked hair, eyes alight with unspoken fire. Not a shadow, but a man stepping into light. Staring at it, I wondered, was I drawing him? Or the version of myself I was only beginning to see? Emily called that evening, voice bubbling with excitement. Tyler mentioned your gallery idea, said he'd drag you if you don't. You two are adorable. Geeking out like that. Adorable. The word twisted, innocent from her lips but laced with irony. Love you, Josh. Can't wait for the wedding chaos. Love you too, I replied, throat tight. Hanging up, I scrolled Tyler's Instagram. Candid shots of him and Emily at Coney Island. Arms around waists, grins wide. But now, I saw the strain in his posture. The eyes that wandered off frame. Toward what? Toward me? Friday dinner loomed, our family's weekly ritual at the old Astoria house. Mom's moussaka steaming on the table, Dad's gruff stories from the site, Emily's anecdotes lighting the room. I arrived early, helping set plates, the kitchen redolent with oregano and olive oil. Tyler pulled up last, bearing wine and a shy smile for me across the threshold. Dinner unfolded in a haze of clinking forks and laughter, but under the table, his foot nudged mine. Accidental? A code? I shifted, heat rising, focusing on Emily's wedding dress sketches. The lace she'd chosen vintage chic. She glowed, chattering about vows, while Tyler nodded, his hand on hers a mask of affection. Later, as we washed dishes side by side, family tradition, suds flying, he leaned in, voice low under the running water. Thanks for today. Means more than you know. I dried a plate, knuckles brushing his. Don't thank me yet. This road's bumpy as hell. His grin was wry. Wouldn't have it any other way. That night, alone, the bumpiness hit. Dreams of hands intertwined. Not Emily's but his, waking me sweat-damp and breathless. Dawn found me pacing, phone in hand, typing then deleting a message to my old college buddy. Alex, the one who'd come out senior year, casual as announcing a major. Ever feel like your whole life's a sketch you didn't draw? I hit send, heart hammering. His reply pinged back. Dude, that's the Queer Awakening starter pack. Coffee soon? Spill. The city hummed outside, indifferent to my unraveling. Tyler had cracked the facade. Now it was my turn to step through. Weeks blurred into a delicate dance. Tyler and I met in Stolen Slivers, lunch runs to halal carts in Midtown, where we dissect life over falafel wraps. Evening jogs along the East River, the skyline's glow mirroring our tentative glow. He opened up in layers. The high school crush on his track coach, buried under team chants. The college hookup with a roommate, dismissed as experimentation and never repeated. I built walls, Josh, thick ones. Emily was the first crack. Her acceptance, her warmth. But you're the wrecking ball. I'd laugh it off, but his words burrowed, stirring my own confessions. I dated Mia for 2 years because she was safe. Checked boxes. Smart, funny, fits the family pick. But when she talked marriage, I panicked. Not fear of commitment. Fear it was wrong. Admitting it aloud felt like shedding skin, raw and liberating. Emily noticed nothing, lost in wedding whirl. Tastings for cake, chocolate hazelnut one. Fittings where she'd emerge twirling, radiant. Tyler's so patient, she'd gush. Says it's all perfect as long as I'm happy. Guilt gnawed me, a constant companion. But Tyler swore we'd handle it gentle. A breakup framed as growing apart. No blame, just truth. Then came the first fracture. A group hike in the Palisades, Emily's idea. Bonding before the big day. With a few friends, backpack stuffed with PB and JS and beer. The trail wound steep through oaks. Leaves crunching under boots. Laughter echoing off cliffs. Tyler and I lagged, scouting ahead. Our pace sinking easy. At a overlook, Hudson River sprawling below like molten silver, he stopped, turning to me with that look. The one that stripped pretenses. It's real, isn't it? Before I could answer, Emily's call rang out. Guys, views killer up here. We rejoined, but the moment lodged. A seed. That night, around the campfire. Sparks dancing into twilight. Tyler's hand found mine in the shadows, fingers lacing brief, hidden. My heart soared, then plummeted. Betrayal's sharp edge. What were we doing? The engagement party hit like a freight train. 6 weeks out from the wedding, Mom and Dad's backyard strung with fairy lights and paper lanterns that swayed gentle in the October breeze. Astoria buzzed with relatives, cousins from Jersey, Yaya in her floral dress dispensing advice and ouzo shots, tables groaning under trays of dalmades, grilled octopus, and tiered cakes frosted pale blue. Emily was the sun, orbiting in a sundress the color of sea glass, pulling Tyler into dances to bad 80s pop blaring from the speakers. "Come on, Josh," she hollered, dragging me into the fray, her joy infectious despite the ache in my chest. Tyler caught my eye across the grass, a silent question in his tilt of head. I nodded, excusing myself for air, slipping toward the alley gate where the noise dulled to murmur. He followed minutes later, 2 plastic cups of Retsina in hand, the anise bite sharp on the tongue. We leaned against the chain link, the party a distant hum, stars pricking the urban haze above. "She's beautiful tonight," he said, voice low, almost reverent. "Deserves this magic." Guilt twisted anew, hot and familiar. "Then why are we here, Tyler? Sneaking moments like thieves. This isn't fair to her, to us." He sipped, eyes on the fence's diamonds glinting in light spill. "Because endings take time. I've got the ring-back speech drafted. I love you, but not like that. Therapy lined up, a place to crash if needed. But rushing it? That'd shatter her. Give me till after the holidays. Please." The plea hung, and I hated how it tugged. His vulnerability, the man dismantling his life brick by careful brick. "Holidays," I echoed, clinking cups. "But no more touches. No risks. We're friends, Tyler. That's it." His smile was sad, knowing. Friends with a side of torture. Got it. We rejoined the fray, me pasting on grins for toasts. "To Emily and Tyler, may your love outlast my rent hikes." Him charming aunts with tales of upstate snow. But under it the tension simmered, a pot on slow boil. Alex met me for coffee the next week. Our old haunt in Williamsburg, exposed brick and overpriced lattes. He was the same, tall, lanky, with a buzz cut and earrings that screamed unapologetic. Now a barista/activist running queer lit nights. "Spill haze," he said, sliding my drink with a wink. Your text screamed existential crisis. I traced the foam heart, words tumbling halting. It's Tyler, Emily's Tyler. He came out to me, said he feels something. And now I'm questioning everything. Like, am I? Alex leaned in, eyes kind but direct. Bi? Gay? Fluid? Labels are bullshit till they fit, man. But that pull? Sounds like your compass finally pointing true. He shared his own story. Senior year panic. A fumbling kiss at a dive bar that rewired the universe. Own it, Josh, before it owns you. His words lingered, a permission slip. That night, I dove into forums. Reddit threads on late-blooming queerness, podcasts with voices like mine, tentative and triumphant. Tyler texted, "Party was perfect. Miss our talks." I replied, "Miss them too. Coffee soon." The dance continued, boundaries blurring in the safety of words. November brought chill winds and wedding frenzy. Invitations licked shut, favors wrapped in twine. Emily confided over wine at her place. Cozy chaos of throw pillows and half-packed boxes for their future Bushwick rental. Tyler's been distant lately. Stressed at work, he says. You notice. My wine soured. Nah, guy's solid. Probably just cold feet jitters. Lysat heavy, but her trust demanded it. She nodded, swirling her glass. Yeah, but do you think we're rushing? The lease, the vows. It's all so fast. Heart aching for her. I squeezed her hand. You're the bravest person I know, Em. If it feels right, it is. She hugged me then, fierce. What would I do without you? Plenty, I thought, guilt's shadow lengthening. The first real crack came mid-month, a Friday night gallery crawl in Chelsea. Tyler and I had planned it as bro time. Emily busy grading papers. Galleries glowed inviting. Vast white spaces hung with abstracts that bled emotion, wine flowing free. We wandered, shoulders brushing in crowds, commentary low and charged. At a peace, a tangled lover's embrace in oils, bodies intertwined ambiguous. Tyler stopped, breath catching. "That's us," he murmured. Close enough his warmth cut the AC chill. I swallowed, pulse racing. "Tyler." He turned, and in the dim the pull was magnetic. His hand found my wrist, thumb tracing vein, and I didn't pull away. The kiss happened then. Soft, hesitant, tasting of Merlot and revelation. Gallery noise faded, world narrowing to his lips, the tentative press that ignited something dormant, fierce. We broke apart gasping, eyes wide. "Shit," he whispered, forehead to mine. I said no risks. "Yeah," I breathed, but leaned in again, deeper this time, hands fisting his shirt. It was fire, honest, consuming, erasing doubts in waves. After, flushed and dazed, we spilled onto the street, hail biting like reprimand. "This changes everything," I said, hailing a cab. He nodded, sliding in beside me. "For the better, I promise." But promises fracture. 2 days later, Emily called, voice trembling. "Josh, Tyler's gone. Packed a bag, left a note. Says he can't marry me, that he's gay." Oh God, what did I do wrong? The world tilted, her sobs a knife. I raced to her apartment, finding her curled on the couch. Note crumpled in fist. "Emily, you're my heart's home, but I can't build a life on borrowed truth. I'm gay. Have been always. Forgive me. Love, Tyler." She thrust it at me, eyes red-rimmed. "Did you know? Tell me you didn't know." I sank beside her, lies crumbling. He told me, weeks ago. I tried to help him." "Help?" She recoiled, betrayal raw. "You let me plan our life while you too?" Horror dawned, piecing texts, the guy dates. "Oh my God, Josh. Is it you?" Silence damned me. She stood, shaking. "Get out. Both of you. Out of my life." The door slammed, echo eternal. Outside, rain lashed again, mirroring the flood inside. I'd betrayed her. For what? A kiss that tasted now of ash. Tyler's call came at dawn. Voice wrecked. "She's right. I destroyed her. Us." "No," I said, resolve hardening amid wreckage. "We face it. Together. But first I fix this with her." The path ahead loomed jagged, but for the first time, I saw my reflection clear. Not straight, not broken, but whole. And terrified. The days after the breakup blurred into a gray November slog, the city stripping bare like my illusions. Emily went radio silent. Texts unread, calls to voicemail, her classroom door a fortress when I showed with coffee and please. Mom and Dad, blindsided, fielded the fallout. Dad muttering about damn kids these days. Mom baking spanakopita in industrial batches, portioning it out with watery eyes. Families bend, Joshua. They don't break. But ours teetered, fault lines spidering from that crumpled note. Tyler holed up in a sublet in Williamsburg, a studio cramped with unpacked boxes and the ghosts of what-ifs. I visited twice, first with groceries, silent unpacking as penance. Second with takeout, where words finally cracked the ice. We sat cross-legged on the futon, low main cooling between us, the space humming with unspoken. "I'm sorry," he started, fork stabbing noodles. "For the mess. For pulling you under." I shook my head, appetite fled. "Don't. You chose truth, that's brave. I chose silence. That's on me." The kiss replayed, not regret but catalyst, awakening a hunger I'd starved. And she'll see it. Eventually. He reached across, hand on knee, chaste now, supportive. "You believe that?" "Have to." Optimism felt fragile, a kite in gusts, but necessary. Work became refuge. Freelance gigs piling, my portfolio swelling with bolder strokes. Figures entwined not in shadow but light, vulnerability as strength. Alex dragged me to his lit night, a dimly lit bar in Bushwick where voices rose raw over mics, sharing coming-out soliloquies and love's quiet revolutions. "Your turn soon," he teased, but I just listened, soaking in the chorus of Not Alones. Thanksgiving loomed, a minefield. Mom insisted, "No one's missing my table," but Emily declined, voice clipped over speaker. "Need space, Ma. Love you." Tyler bowed out too, citing family stuff upstate, leaving me the lone buffer. The meal passed strained. Dad's football drone on TV, Mom's forced cheer, my sketches doodled on napkins, faces half-formed, yearning. Post-feast, buzzed on wine, I wandered to the roof, city sprawl glittering indifferent. Tyler's text lit my phone. "Missed you today. Thinking of that rooftop party." "Full circle?" I replied. "Yeah, come over." He arrived windblown, pie in hand, pecan, peace offering. We ate on the floor, forks clinking, laughter tentative at first, then free. Conversation meandered. His coming-out call to parents, awkward but met with teary acceptance. My confession to Alex, met with hugs and "Welcome to the club, dumbass." Emboldened, he set down his plate. "Josh." That night in Chelsea, it wasn't just impulse. It was me seeing you. Heat bloomed, and I closed the gap, our kiss slower this time. Exploratory, tender. No galleries, no haste. Just us, unfolding. His hands traced my jaw, mine his back, bodies aligning like puzzle edges long separated. It deepened, breaths mingling, but we paused at the precipice. Clothes on, hearts bare. "Stay," I whispered. "All night," he murmured, curling against me on the couch, his heartbeat a lullaby. Morning brought coffee and clarity. This was real, fragile but rooted. We vowed transparency, no more shadows. December dusted snow on stoops, holidays twinkling defiant against the chill. Emily's thaw began fractal. A happy holidays text, emoji neutral. Then a call, voice steadier. "Therapy's helping, Josh. Doesn't excuse you, but I miss my brother." Tears pricked. "Miss you more. Can we talk? In person." The diner on Myrtle neutral as ever. She arrived bundled in scarf and coat, freckles pale against winter flush. We ordered blacks, steam rising like bridges. "I hate you both," she started, no preamble. "For the lies. For letting me dream a future that was smoke." "I know." I owned it, no deflection. "I was scared. Of losing you, of myself." Tyler too. But he ended it right, For honesty. She stirred sugar, slow. "And you? This thing with him. How long?" "Since his confession." But it grew slow. "I didn't plan." "Plans suck anyway." Bitter laugh, then sigh. "I loved him as friend, partner. Thought it was more. Hurts, but I see it now, the signs I ignored. His distance, the way he'd light up around you." Pause, eyes searching. "Does it make you happy?" The question pierced, simple and profound. "Yeah, terrifyingly so." She nodded, tentative olive branch. "Then hold it. But if you hurt like he did, I'll bury you in the Hudson." Laughter broke, cathartic, and we hugged, fierce, forgiving. Not mended full, but cracking toward light. Christmas Eve, Tyler and I hosted small, just us, Emily and Alex for buffer. The tree was Charlie Brown sparse, strung with thrift lights. Table laden with takeout souvlaki and eggnog spiked heavy. Awkward at first. Emily's side eyes at Tyler's refills, but wine loosened tongues. Stories of childhood Christmases, bad gifts swapped, my year-old lava lamp, hers the singing bass. Tyler shared a Colgate tale, closet crushes veiled as pranks. I admitted my first boy crush on a lifeguard, buried under beach reeds. By midnight, Emily raised her glass. To truths, even the hard ones. Eyes met, hers forgiving, his grateful, mine awed. She left early, kiss on cheek. Be good to each other, or else. Alone, Tyler and I slow danced to carols on the radio, his chin on my shoulder. "This," he whispered, "is home, but peace is fleeting. January brought the storm. Tyler's ex from college, Mark, a sleek lawyer type with a jawline like chiseled marble, surfaced via email. Then call. Heard you're single. Coffee? Old times. Tyler showed me the thread. Dismissive but uneasy. Water under the bridge. College fling. Nothing more. Jealousy flared. Irrational green. You sure? Sounds cozy. He pulled me close. Kiss fierce. Only you, Josh. Promise. I believed him. Till the night I came home early from a client meet, studio dark, and found them on my couch. Tyler, shirt rumpled, Mark's hand on his thigh, laughter dying as the door clicked. Josh? Tyler started, rising, but Mark smirked, unrepentant. Interrupting? We'll finish later. Betrayal iced my veins. Get out! I snarled to both. Mark sauntered, tossing call me over shoulder. Tyler stayed, pleading. It was nothing. He showed unannounced, pushed. I swear. Lies again. Echo of Emily's pain. You asked for help once. This time, help yourself out. Door shut, lock turned. Alone, I shattered. A vase hurled, sobs racking till dawn. Trust, so newly built, crumbled to dust. February's bite sank deep, snowplows groaning through streets like weary beasts, mirroring the cold knot in my gut. The apartment echoed empty without Tyler's sneakers by the door, his coffee mug in the sink. Small voids that gaped like wounds. I threw myself into work. Illustrations for a queer zine Alex connected me to portraits of men mid-reckoning, eyes fierce with becoming. Catharsis in lines, but nights brought the replay. Mark's smirk, Tyler's flush, the doubt that festered. Emily checked in, voice gentle over takeout deliveries. Heard from him? When I shook head, she sighed. Give it time, but don't let it eclipse you, Josh. You're just starting to shine. Her words anchored, pulling me to therapy. A cozy office in Park Slope, Dr. Lena with her wire rims and noble shit vibe. Betrayal's a teacher, she said, notepad balanced on knee. What does it reveal about your boundaries? Your worth. Sessions unearthed roots. Dad's stoic silences. Mom's tough love that taught endurance over expression. I fear abandonment, I admitted one gray afternoon. So I cling, then push when scared. Queer awakening amplifies that, she noted. Society's script says straight is safe. Stepping off means rewriting alone. Alone. The word echoed in solitary subway rides. Sketches abandoned midstroke. Alex hauled me out. Bar hops in the village, where rainbow flags snapped proud. Hands brushed in crowds without shame. One night, a guy tall with inked arms and a shy grin bought me a gin fizz. Your laugh's killer, he said, leaning close. Flirtation fizzed, novel and heady. But when his lips grazed mine in the alley haze, I pulled back. Not yet. The kiss with Tyler lingered, benchmark and bruise. Spring teased early, crocuses pushing through slush, as Tyler's texts resumed. Can we talk? Deleted. Then another. I fucked up. Let me explain. I blocked but unblocked in weak moments, reading between lines. Easter brought family truce. Mom's lamb roasting, dyed eggs hidden clumsy. Emily arrived with a date, quiet engineer named Sam. Glasses fogging from kitchen steam. Go slow, she whispered to me, eye roll fond. Dad clapped Tyler's absence with gruff, his loss. Oblivious. Mom pressed feta into my palm. Eat, Mijo. Love feeds the soul. Post-feast, Emily cornered me on the stoop. Spring air sweet with hyacinth. He called me, apologized proper in tears. Said Mark was a panic move. Reaching for familiar pain after hurting you. Rage flickered, then ebbed. And he's wrecked, Josh. Therapy, job hunt. Says you're the real thing, the one worth fighting for. I stared at passing cars, taillights blurring. Doesn't erase it. No, but forgiveness isn't absolution. It's space for growth. She hugged me, Sam waiting patient. Your call. The decision nod. A week of pros-cons lists scribbled on napkins. Finally, I texted, Prospect Park, bench by boathouse. Noon. He waited, thinner, shadows under eyes, hands twisting a paper bag. Bagels, lox, your favorite. We sat, silence thick as fog off the lake. Mark crashed my pity party. He started, voice gravel. Showed up buzzed, talking old times. I let him in, stupid, weak. Nothing happened beyond talk but the intent. It was escape. From losing you. Tears tracked, unashamed. I hate that part of me, the runner. Therapy's digging it out, but I need you to know you're it. The truth I chose. I listened, heart warring. Love's pull, trust's fracture. You broke us, Tyler. Not just the act. The echo of lies to Emily. He nodded, owning. I know. And I'll spend forever mending if you'll let me. Start small, friends first. Earn it. The offer tempted, a scaffold for rebuild. Small. I agreed, tentative. Coffee. Walks. No expectations. Relief lit his face, sunrise after storm. We walked then, bagels shared, talk light, his new freelance gigs in design, my zine feature. Laughter crept, fragile bridges. Rebuilding proved glacial. Weekly meets, boundaries ironclad. He shared sessions, childhood pressures to man up, the closet's claustrophobia. I shared fears, the late bloom joy of pride flags fluttering free. Emily met us once, neutral at the diner. Be gentle, she warned him. Then to me, trust your gut. Gut said proceed, cautious. May bloomed riotous. Tulips rioting in planters, farmers' markets ripe with strawberries. Our first real date, Coney Island boardwalk, sunset gilding the cyclone's bones. Cotton candy stuck fingers. Ferris wheel creaked slow. His hand in mine public, proud. At the top, city lights winking below. He kissed me, soft. Sure. Thank you for second chances. Second truths. I corrected, heart full. A climax brewed unseen. June's heat wave baked sidewalks. Wedding season mocking with bridezillas on subways. Tyler's past resurfaced. Not Mark, but family. His sister, Claire, visiting from Seattle, sharp-tongued lawyer with suspicions from the breakup gossip. She cornered him at a family dinner I tagged along to, upstate cabin, lake lapping lazy. You torched a good woman for him? She hissed, me in earshot. What if it's a phase? You'll hurt him too. Tyler stiffened. Fork paused. It's not. This is me. Claire turned to me, eyes assessing. Hope so. He deserves solid. The barb lodged, doubt's old friend. That night, by the dock, Tyler confessed. She's wrong. But her words hit. Am I solid, Josh? After everything. I pulled him close, fireflies winking witnesses. We're both works in progress. That's the beauty. Summer solstice party at Alex's. Rooftop jam, grills smoking ribs, bodies swaying to indie beats. Tyler fits seamless, charming Alex's crew. His hand low on my back, a quiet claim. Emily showed with Sam, toasts clinking. To messy beginnings, epic middles. Mid-dance, under strings of bulbs, Tyler drew me aside. Marry me? Not now, someday. When we're ready. Tears pricked, joy's edge. Someday. But betrayal's shadow loomed final. July 4th, fireworks prepping. Tyler's phone buzzed insistent. Mark again. One drink. Closure. Tyler swore off, deleted the thread. But I glimpsed the temptation, the pull of easy past. Confrontation erupted post-barbecue. My parents' roof. Smoke still curling from grill. You're flirting with old flames? I accused, voice rising over distant booms. He paled. No, swear. It's noise. Prove it. Ultimatum's edge. Desperate. He did, blocked. Phone handed over. Eyes pleading. All in. Always. The fight purged, leaving space for deeper vows. August cooled tensions. A stronger, woven tighter. September gilded the edges. Leaves turning reluctant. School bells ringing restart. Emily and Sam deepened. Talks of trips to the Berkshires. Her ring a simple gold band from a quiet courthouse due. Your turn next, she teased at brunch. Now routine. Tyler included seamless. Family mended. Scars faint but felt. a tapestry richer for threads pulled. Tyler's job landed steady. Junior creative at a Soho agency, pitching campaigns that spoke soul. Mine bloomed too. Gallery solo show booked for spring. Urban queers in bold strokes. Vulnerability valorized. Openings whispered. Haze captures the heart's quiet roar. We built rituals. Sunday markets in Union Square. Haggling for heirloom tomatoes. Movie nights in. His head on my lap. Fingers tracing idle patterns. Intimacy flowered natural. No rush, just discovery. The curve of his collarbone under lips. My name gasped in dawn light. Love, not lust, deep anchoring. October's chill brought crossroads. Tyler's Colgate reunion, ghosts in flannel and keg stands. He invited me. Face them with you. And I went, hand laced defiant through ivy halls. Whispers followed. Tyler's guy. But he shone. Speeches on authenticity's ad game. Me at his side proud. Claire cornered us post-dinner. Wine loose. I was wrong. You too. It's solid. Hug followed, bridge crossed. Thanksgiving redux. Full table. Tyler's folks beaming via Zoom from Rochester. Proud of our boy. Mom's moussaka mingled with their pierogies. Cultures clashing cozy. Emily raised glass. To found families, blood be damned. December snowed us in one weekend. Cabin fever turning playful. Forts from sheets. Cocoa mustached kisses. New Year's Eve. Times Square madness on TV. We toasted on the fire escape. To us, unscripted, unbreakable. But humanism's core tests in tempests. January's freeze cracked Tyler's facade anew. Agency crunch, deadlines devouring, old insecurities snarling. What if I'm not enough? Panic attacks gripped, breaths short in our bed. I held him through nights, Dr. Lena's tools in tandem. Grounding breaths, walks in slush. You're enough, I'd murmur, tracing tattoos from his lacrosse days. More than. His vulnerability mirrored mine. Fears of fading passion. City's churn eroding us. Couples therapy joined. A dyke therapist with wry humor. Love's maintenance, not magic. We learned languages. His need for affirmation, my for space. Spring equinox, my show opening. Chelsea thrumming. Red dots multiplying on walls. Tyler's speech. Josh paints the unseen heart. Drew tears, sales. Emily bought first print. Framed for their new place with Sam. Summer solstice circled back. Alex's roof again, now tradition. Fireworks burst over East River. His arm around me. Some days creeping close. July heat wave, we escape to the Finger Lakes. Cabin rental, Emily's wedding spot irony suite. Lake swims, bonfires crackling stories. His coming out call to me, rain-soaked hook. My awakening, that bench confession. We saved each other, he said, stars wheeling above. August brought proposal, impromptu, post-hike in the Palisades, sweat slick and breathless. On one knee, ring simple, silver with green stone. My eyes echo. Marry me, Joshua Hayes. Build the life we deserve. Tears blurred. Yes. God, yes. Fall wedding small. Backyard Astoria. Mom's roses blooming defiant. Emily maid of honor. Sam best man. Alex officiating, vows laced queer joy. In a world of straight lines, you curved together beautifully. Vows exchanged. Tyler's, you saw me first, loved me true. Mine, you unlocked me, made me whole. Rings slid, kiss sealed under arch of lights. Reception spilled laughter, ouzo shots, dances wild. Dad's toast. To love that fits, no matter the shape. Mom wept happy. Yaya pinching cheeks. Handsome boys. Honeymoon road trip. Route 66 Echoes. Motels neon lit. Diners with pie slices big as hopes. Conversations deepened. Kids maybe via surrogacy. Art studios shared. Growing old sketching sunsets. Years folded. Agency promotions for him. My illustrations in mags. Emily's twins with Sam. Playdates chaotic. Betrayals faded to lessons. Trust rebuilt brick by patient brick. On our 5th anniversary, Prospect Park bench. Full circle, he pulled a sketch pad. my gift. Us, entwined in ink, timeless. You changed how I saw myself, I said, echoing that rainy hook. He smiled, blue eyes eternal. And I, you, forever. In America's vast heart, Brooklyn stoops to upstate lakes. We carved our story. Dramatic falls, emotional rises, romantic threads, humanistic grace. Not perfect, but profoundly ours.